morning and welcome to the series.
Before we get started today, we here at the series would like to issue a retraction for a mistake we made in yesterday's broadcast. Apparently, they were suited cards.
Yeah, suited. Makes sense. The $10,000 Pot Limit Omaha event came to a close around 11 p.m. last night. Lee Watkinson defeated Mike Gutman in heads-up play, winning his first bracelet and $655,000.
The original 2,900 entrants to the $1,000 no-limit event have reached a final table. After Carlos Mortensen was eliminated in 10th place, big names John Phan and Umberto Brenes took their respective second and third places at the final table, right behind chip leader Mike Pomeroy. Pomeroy will go into today's final table at 2 p.m., the only player with over 1 million chips. But don't forget, it's no limit, baby. Anything can happen.
A relatively small field started in yesterday's $2,000 Pot Limit Hold'em event. Even though many of the biggest names took the day off in order to prepare for today's $50,000 horse event, the 22 that remain out of the original 590 still have recognizable names and perennial money finishers Joe Hashem, Jim McManus, and Kirill Gerasimov.
Today's brand new $50,000 horse event, although incredibly different from the Jordan versus Bird horse matchups from the early 90s, still has the same idea. Who is the all-around best player? Horse is an acronym used to describe a mixed game. For a specified time, play will consist of Hold'em, Omaha, Raz, Stud, and Stud 8 or better. The E stands for 8 or better.
For those who don't know, Raz is a variation on 7-card Stud in which players are trying to make the lowest hand possible. Straights and flushes do not count against you, meaning ace through 5, or the wheel is the nuts. Between the fact that this is the series' first mixed game as well as its highest buy-in ever, it might be considered by most big names to be this year's most anticipated event.
Calling it Horsin might be slightly more accurate, however. Even though this is a mixed game, World Series of Poker officials have decided that the final table will only be played as no-limit Hold'em. The series had a chance to talk to Full Tilt team member David Singer about the horse event yesterday, and here's what he had to say.
Tomorrow's the horse event. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good event. It's an interesting structure. I like playing no limit, but I think it would be better for a horse event if the final table was still horse, but I don't mind playing the no limit. I consider that one of my better games. A lot of people are saying, well, this is the ultimate event. It's 50,000 buy-in, so it's going to really show who's the best player at all the mixed games, but I really don't think that's the case because it's still a tournament only over a few days, and whoever gets the better hands once the limits start going up, is, you know, a lot of it is luck when you get the hands at the right time. It's really not going to, in my mind at least, it's not really going to prove who the best player is. That being said, I'd love to win it, and I'd love everyone to think I'm the best player, but...
Thanks, David. And now a quick word from Full Tilt.
Hey, Eric, I had a question. Is it too late?
Nah, come on in.
What do you think? Pre-flop, middle position?
Oh, man. Did you already call the blind?
Kinda. Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can hope to flop trips and... Yeah, he's got it right. You should have folded.
Thanks.
Good luck.
To learn, chat, and play with the pros, go where they live. FullTiltPoker.com.
Our big name matchup of the day takes us to the aforementioned $1,000 no-limit event. As the final table loomed, John Phan raised it up to $14,000 from the cutoff and was called by the two blinds, Carlos Mortensen and Cliff Trevifan. After a flop of ace of clubs, 9 of clubs, 7 of clubs, both callers checked and Phan tossed another $18,000 towards the pot. This time only Mortensen called, who again checked the turn, this time the 3 of spades. Phan then fired another $45,000 at the pot and Mortensen called. The river was the jack of diamonds and finally both players checked. Phan finally showed down queen 3 for a pair of 3s, handily snapping off Mortensen's monster pocket deuces. A short while later, Phan finished the job, knocking Mortensen out in 10th place.
Finally, as play began to wind down last night in the same tournament, it's clear that fatigue must have begun to set in, as a few of the players at his table all began to mimic Umberto Brenes by giving a thumbs up to indicate a raise.
Whether good-intentioned or not, we here at the series cannot condone making fun of any player in any way for any reason. Be sure to stay with cardplayer.com for live updates all day on today's $50,000 horse event, as well as the $1,000 seniors Hold'em no limit event.
Yo soy Umberto Brenes. Gracias por mirar. Ocho!